What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're gonna have a look at Watch Dogs Legion, which was asked of me quite a while ago, so finally getting to it, but nothing to really set up or anything. The laptop just is a laptop, so let's go look at the settings, shall we?
Alright guys, for Watch Dogs Legion, let's just take one look at this display tab to show you guys that we're on the right GPU, on the right resolution, with no VSync or FPS limit of any kind, standard FOV and all that. So now let's go check out the quality settings. So now here are the low settings, and we're on DirectX 12. If anybody wants me to redo all of this again in DirectX 11, I will. But just to keep the video shorter, I kept it to just that one for now. And again, that's also how we're able to use ray tracing. So without that, no ray tracing. And this game is mostly about ray tracing from how it was advertised. But let's go run a benchmark. So here we go for the benchmark. We averaged 143, or max of 143, excuse me. Averaged 101. Minimum of 63. There's our two 1% and 0.1% lows. Here's our system low. For some reason, GPU just says 0. And here's all of our driver information and whatnot, and how much RAM and VRAM we use. So we're finally in game now with low settings, 1080p, and all that good stuff. So now let's go through here and see what's what. Oh, and by the way, we're just going to be doing nothing but running through this same level at first, because I went pretty far before and thought like it saved, but then when I started this game, I'm back at the very beginning of the game, if I recall. But after 1080p, we will definitely get out of this underground crap. I probably just had to go a little farther, to be honest with you, but how was I to know? I went so far, so many cutscenes, and then stopped. Alright. Alright, now where do we go? Up here? Yeah, let's go up here. And hell, we can kind of treat this like a speed run. Eventually, I'm just going to see how quick I can, like, run through this whole level. Alright, so we've got to go follow the red, I imagine. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Yep, it goes over there, okay. Oh, there's a guy over there. You're done. Alright, can that one see me? No, he can't. There's a wall in his way. Ha! You saw me for a second there, it seemed like, but then you got electrocuted. But let's move on, shall we?
Well, alright guys, starting off below here. We got a guy up there. Is there anybody else down here? Alright, nope, there's that guy. Alright.
They've got loads of dead set gear down here. Now why do you suppose that is?
What? How did they get their hands on it?
How didn't they get their hands on
Well,
it?
someone wants to make it look like dead set was here.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Doctor.
Who are these men in black anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
This guy's like frickin' 007. Bond. James Bond. Basically.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Badly is that?
RDX nitrogen. Enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device.
Man, this is definitely a lot of boom.
Floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Bagley, is that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
Alright though. Let's move on.
Now we're going to move on to medium, at DirectX 12 of course. So let's just cruise through these settings really fast, then we'll do a benchmark, and then it's gameplay time. A lot more options in this game than a lot of other games I've been playing recently. And we'll do ray tracing at the end. Medium benchmark is all done now. And we got 136 max. We got an average of 98, a minimum of 62. There's our 1%, or 0.1% lows. VRAM, RAM, CPU load, and all that good stuff. And then our operating system and all this good stuff. So, now, let us move on. Now for the medium gameplay. We're back at the beginning again. At least it's like the same place over and over again, so we keep the benchmark run kind of consistent at least. Not very interesting to watch, but like I said, after we get out of 1080p, we'll go farther. Because I have to go help my friend pick up his charger today, so I have to kind of get through making just the voiceovers for 1080p now, and then I'll go help him, come back later at night, finish the voiceovers, then I'll start rendering and whatnot. So, if I didn't have to do that, I would have probably just gone a little bit farther ahead and finally seen where it would have finally saved and gotten me out of all this. But didn't have time. Such is life sometimes. You don't always have time to do everything you want to do in a day. But I think myself, or I count myself pretty lucky to be able to just basically do whatever I want all day. And also make you guys these videos a bunch. Alright, there's our little unlock thing. Oh, there we go. And now that we did that, why don't we move on?
Well, alright guys, now it's time for us to move on to medium. And unfortunately this game like never seems to save. I went like quite a bit in thinking, oh, it must have saved. But nope, so I guess we're just gonna have to keep doing the same place over and over again, at least for 1080p, and then I'll try to get a little farther for 1440p and all the rest of them. Especially because it seems to be like all underground and whatnot. I'd like to get some footage.
The entire place is reeked to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Badly is that?
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Alright. Yeah, well, I don't really want to mess with them when they're that close to each other, so. Man, there's so much beeping in this room. Where's the other one? There's the other one, alright. Gotta wait for this mofo to turn his back. Come on. There we go. And there we go. Now, let's move on.
We're gonna move right along to high graphics preset now. So again, why don't we just look at what all those settings it changes and which ones it doesn't. It says we're going to use 4.2 gigs of RAM apparently with minor GPU load and minor GPU load. So well, let's go find out. Alright guys, here's the benchmark for high. We got 125 max, 90 average, a minimum one of 52. There's our two 0.1% lows up top. And here's all of our system load info and our operating system, GPU info, VRAM, and all that good stuff. Well, we've got this game cranked to high preset now, so let us just run through the cave system and see how it does. Oh, I did it too early and then he caught me. Ow, he uppercutted me. Yep, but you took too long to get your stupid nightstick out, so now you can get your head bashed against a hot pipe. Alright, now let's go in here. Just keep on scooting along, because now we know there's no one up here at all. I remember the first time I played this game, like, just as, like, I think it was a trio of other video gameplays, and I couldn't figure out how to vault over that thing, so I spent, like, one whole minute of, like, I think screen recorded gameplay just trying to figure out how to vault, and then I'm like, oh, if I'd pay attention to the bottom of the screen, it freaking tells you how to vault over things, but you're not always paying attention to shit. Alright. Take this guy out. Now let's knock them out too, just for fun, instead of electrocuting them. And why don't we move on?
Now we are on high for camera recorded. I mean, we're still underground doing the same thing, but it doesn't seem like the FPS changes that much with graphics settings so far.
What? How did they get their hands on it?
So that's at least nice. But we are, like I said, still underground and whatnot. This might completely change
You need to proceed
once
with
we get
extreme
out
caution, Doctor.
and do, you know, actual city, like wide open.
Nothing identified.
We always
I suspect
tend to get
that's by
more
design.
FPS in these confined spaces. Which is exactly why I want to get out of here.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is ready to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Badly is that?
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Oh yeah, F you, dude. Ow. You've been finished.
The state's dead set propaganda all around the bombs.
And with that, we will move on.
And hang it on us.
Now, this is one of those games that's got a very high setting, so we're going to move on to very high now. So let's look over all these settings right quick. And ray tracing, of course, we will do at the very end. Now the very hot benchmark's all finished running, and we averaged 112 this time. Or got max 112, excuse me. Averaged 86. Got a minimum of 52. There's our 1% lows and whatnot. Our system load and whatnot. I don't know why the GPU never works, but maybe it's running the internal one or reading the internal one. I don't know. Here's all our info, other info, and move on. Time. Let's get into the very high gameplay now. And we keep on getting farther and farther. And I paused my TV, and the little Chromecast thing, or what do you call it, NVIDIA Shield tablet has the little like Chromecast-like screensavers. And one of the dude's name who submitted the pictures was Michael Fang. That is such a cool name. I wish my last name was Fang. My last name is lame as hell compared to that. Anyway, though, let's run down here, kill these three guys. Look at that, and electrocute me too. I was standing on a bunch of water. Alright, and there's that guy up there. Why don't we go take him out too? Damn, that was a nice takedown. And now let's unlock the door. And we'll also move on.
Well, now we are on very high graphics settings. So, let's just get a little gameplay here. in here and go into the bomb room, as I'm going to name it.
Oh, fuck me.
The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Ugly as that.
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator
That's
bag?
too much
Not
nitrogen.
exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor
There's
above
way
you.
too much
Yeah,
nitrogen.
that fits the bill.
This is a
On my way.
terrible vacation. Hell yeah. Just wait for that one to walk over. And that other one will walk over here. Here we go. And we'll go finish off the last guy here. Man, what a way to go.
States that said propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are
And
gonna
all
blow
right.
Parliament and hang it on us.
Now let's move on.
Well, now we've got it on Ultra. So, let's look at all the Ultra settings. I guess headlight goes up to 2 cars. Not like I'd probably notice something like that anyway. And ray tracing, of course, we'll do at the end. So, now, why don't we run a benchmark? Alright guys, benchmark for Ultra just got all finished now. We maxed out at 93, average 71, min 45. There's our percentile lows and our system load. And down here is our operating system, even though it's Windows 11. And there we go. Now let's move on. Alright, well we got this thing cranked all the way up to Ultra now. So let's run through our little tunnel and knock out all of our bad guys real quick. Well, that guy's just knocked out. Alright, let's run through, well, crouch run through here. Knock you out. It's always fun knocking these guys out. But it's also fun electrocuting them. And you too. Now we can unlock our gate. And let's also move right on.
Well, now we are on high. Getting us some camera gameplay. So let us run around here really fast and fuck these guys up.
The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Ugly as that.
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator bag, Lee?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way. The state's dead set propaganda
All
all around
right.
the bombs. These pricks are gonna blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
Can't open it. Well, screw that. Yes, we can. With iFixit, which is my foot. Man, that was a lame joke. Anyway, now that we're into this cutscene, why don't we move on to the next graphics setting?
Now, I'm only going to show you this screen once, but we're going to do ray tracing, and we're just keeping everything maxed out on Ultra, basically. And we're only going to be changing ray tracing from here on, so there's no point in constantly showing you this exact same screen with literally nothing but this one bar right here changed. So we're doing ray trace reflections, I guess. That's the only ray tracing in this game. Anyway, let's run a benchmark. Here's our benchmark with ray tracing on. Now we only got a max of 55, an average of 39, and a min of 25. Here's the rest of our stuff. And even more stuff. And our RAM and VRAM. And there we go. Let's move on. Well, now we've got ray tracing on, or ray traced reflections, I should say, on medium. That's the only ray tracing that appears to be in this game. So let us run through our little benchmark again and see how it does. We're already dropping under 60, so that's not boding well for ray tracing out in the open and at higher resolutions. But this laptop never does good at ray tracing, so no one should be surprised of that by now. Alright, let's go on over here and knock this guy out. I bet we could just literally electrocute all of them. It'd go even faster that way. Zap! Oh hey, what's up? Having fun? Well, now you're electrocuted. And unlock our little gate for ourselves. And I should have ran back and just jumped over the thing again. I keep forgetting to do that. I did that once earlier in the video and then just didn't ever do it again. Anyway though, let's move on.
Okay, now we got ray tracing on medium.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. How clear is that?
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Well, they're not very smart, are they?
I don't see anything yet. Not seeing nobody. I'll go over there.
There we go.
Stage dead set propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get
You're
to that
not allowed to
detonator
blow up
first.
Parliament. They need that for governing and such. But alright, let's move on.
Jumping right into the benchmark because we don't need to look at the settings. So this is ray tracing high. And we got 49, 36, and 25 for our max, average, and mins. Here's the rest of our system load, and here's our system driver info, and our VRAM, and all that good stuff. Now we got ray tracing on high. So let's go see how much of a difference that makes, at least underground, through our little benchmark course we've made. Wonder why some games just don't capture audio from like people talking. Is that like some kind of protection, or is that Windows recording being weird? Can I just not hear it while I'm recording these and you guys hear it just fine? I don't know. Alright. Electrocuted. There you go. Closer and electrocuted. And this guy's up here painting, but then he's all like, I'm electrocuted. Alright, sick. Got our door unlocked. And why don't we move along?
Now this is high ray tracing. So let's get a little bit of gameplay.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. How clear is that?
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
There we go, another one bites the dust. This one is down.
They've staged dead set propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator
I have
first.
downloaded
Badger, is
stuff.
that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
And with that, we'll move on to the last graphics setting.
Benchmark for ultra ray tracing is all done now. And we got 44, 33, and 18. So we dropped under 20. Here's our system load. It starts using quite a bit of VRAM. Or at least according to this anyway. And then there's our CPU and our GPU driver right there. VRAM and RAM. So now, let us move on. Well, last up here, we've got ourselves some ultra ray traced gameplay now. Wow, that guy teleported. That's interesting. Well, he teleported, but now you got punched in the face, so who really wins in the end? Me. Alright. I don't even think I actually have to do that. I just do that every time. Jump right over there this time. Make this go really quick. Ooh, and now we can blow you up. Well, not blow you up, but shock you to death, more like. And you're done as well. A quick unlock. And now let's jump over this again. And run back up to our gate. And there we go. Now let's move right along.
And here we are with ray tracing on Ultra now. So it's almost maxed out. The only thing that is not maxed out is the car lights, and there's no car lights down here, so I figured that's an irrelevant setting for now.
The entire place is rigged to blow.
Now when I'm done making this video, I basically plan
Badger, is that?
to try to get to a place where I'm outside, and hopefully it'll finally save.
Not exactly, but
This
there's a
game
device
does not seem to auto-save very
on
often.
the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
I'm just curious, can I do this without the other one noticing?
Staged dead set propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
And you're toast. Download some shiz.
Badger,
There
is
we
that
go.
not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
And there we go. Now, let's wrap this video on up, shall we?
Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Watch Dogs Legion, and it did pretty good up until we turned ray tracing on, as usual, but even Ultra, we were in the 90s for the most part. Yeah, it dropped, according to the benchmark, under 60 to like 53 a couple times, but at least when I was underground, I didn't see that happen, but maybe that'll change once we get out into the world. But like I said, before I even did this part of the video, I went and like got through all of the cutscenes and whatnot, picked my team, and then it loaded, so hopefully, when I go to make the 1440p video, it's not just going to be at the beginning of the game anymore. We'll see, but it shouldn't. But it never tells me when it's saving. And if it does, I don't know what the symbol is or where it appears. But I never saw it autosave, so all I can do is hope. Anyway, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until the next one, peace out, guys.